Nintendo really let the fox out of the bag when they revealed Fox McCloud would appear in the Mario Galaxy movie. Then just a short time later, they caught us all off guard with the announcement of a new Star Fox coming to the Switch 2. Fans were both hyped and a bit underwhelmed.
It's equipped with a laser.
The Star Fox franchise has been lost in space for a very long time. We haven't seen a game in 8 years if you count the Switch version of Starlink Battle for Atlas, which you should. But if you're only considering Nintendo releases, it's been more than a decade since Star Fox Zero crashed and burned on the ill-fated Wii U. So any new game in the Star Fox franchise is pretty good news. And yet, Nintendo made it clear that this Switch 2 title is a nuts-to-bolts overhaul of Star Fox 64, rather than a new adventure for Fox and his band of animal mercenaries. Here's the upside. Star Fox for the Switch 2 is the most fully realized vision of a game fans have played since 1997. Full stop. Whether that's good or bad depends on what you want from Nintendo. If you're howling for a new Star Fox adventure, this ain't it. But if the idea of playing through an absolute classic Nintendo game, meticulously tuned to perfection, in a way we could only dream about in 1997, excites you? Nintendo's new Star Fox for the Switch 2 deserves a spot in your hangar bay. Considering this is Nintendo's third stab at Star Fox 64, you'd expect the Switch 2 version to be near perfect. Yeah, that's right, I said third, which undoubtedly set off alarms for a few of you. There are those who would have you believe that the majority of Star Fox games merely reimagine the first game, albeit with increasingly pretty graphics and the occasional new mechanic bolted on in an attempt to keep things fresh. While many Star Fox games do feature similar beats, such as facing down the evil mad scientist Andross and piloting through a series of levels on different planets, they're hardly the same game continually remade. Star Fox Assault has a level where you stand on Wolf's ship and blast enemies with a bazooka. Star Fox Command has an ending where Falco and Fox become F-Zero racers. Star Fox Zero asked players to pilot a chicken walker, and it didn't even have Nova Bombs until fan outcry forced Nintendo to add them in, bringing the title closer to 64. And Star Fox 2 is its own animal entirely. No, there are 3 versions of Star Fox 64. The original recipe on the Nintendo 64, released in 1997, Star Fox 64 3D on the Nintendo 3DS, released in 2011, and the Switch 2 variant, rebranded as merely Star Fox, which is not at all confusing for anyone. So what's changed for the better in 29 or 15 years, depending on your mileage and portable gaming habits? For starters, the graphics. From the brutal space battlefield of Sector X to the craggy underwater depths of Aquas, Star Fox is absolutely gorgeous. Have a look at this comparison of Corneria, the game's first stage, from all 3 versions of Star Fox 64.
Slippy, watch out! Bogey on your tail!
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
We're entering Corneria City now. Andross sure has trashed the place.
Everybody, stay alert!
Equally gorgeous is the orchestral soundtrack, which adds a cinematic flair to each stage's familiar theme. Listen to this comparison of Starwolf's theme from all 3 games. That same level of extra oomph is palpable in the sound design, from the chunky impact of your lasers on every enemy weak spot, to the mechanical kerchunk of every bomb launch from the R-Wing.
Resistant laser tech!
But good graphics and sound are table stakes when it comes to remakes. You want to see the really good stuff? Let's talk modes. Form up for Battle Mode. Every version of Star Fox 64 includes a multiplayer battle mode. The N64 original featured dogfighting across a handful of maps pulled directly from the campaign. Things got a little more complicated on the 3DS with the addition of power-ups and specific objectives, such as scoring the most points in a limited amount of time, or being the last pilot standing, the piloting. Star Fox on the Switch 2 keeps the power-ups from the 3DS version and adds map-specific objectives across 3 battlefields. On Corneria, players compete to hold down areas of the map with satellite towers used to call in reinforcements. In Sector Y, players recover valuable cargo from space pirates piloting monkey Gundams and try to get it back to their side of the map without getting shot down. On Pachina, pilots race to shoot falling meteors and collect their gooey, energy-filled centers in a score battle. No matter the location, battle mode is full of frenetic gameplay. There's always something to do, whether it's snatching power-ups, keeping bogeys off your back, blasting computer-controlled baddies for extra points, or, trying to accomplish the actual mission objective.
Star Fox completed the objective.
And players even have a few options about how they want to battle it out. Want to fight bots? It's here. Local and online co-op via game share for both Switch 1 and Switch 2 systems? Check. And then, of course, there's the online mode where you get to demonstrate your prowess against a bunch of randos.
Good luck.
And hey, should you own the Switch 2 camera? You can play multiplayer VTuber style, with one of the in-game characters standing in for your own face. Next up is Challenge Mode. In addition to receiving medals for high scores on all the stages across the Lilat system, Star Fox on Switch 2 adds a Challenge Mode. Think of these as level-specific achievements and a bit of replay value. Can you defeat all 6 of the robots on Corneria in one go? How about taking out 3 or more enemies with one well-placed shot? As you achieve each challenge, a message pops up to confirm you did it, and you can check which challenges you have left at any time via the pause menu. Rounding out our trio of special modes is Co-op mode. No, we're not talking split screen, as cool as that might be. Instead, Co-op allows for 2 players to tackle a campaign together as pilot and gunner. One player pilots the game's various vehicles, while the gunner uses a Joy-Con 2 in mouse mode to take down enemies with precision. And while we appreciate the addition of an asynchronous co-op mode, the chances that we'll complete an entire playthrough this way feels less likely than Falco having something pleasant to say for once.
Some of your crew is worth it anyway.
Speaking of which, the final new addition to Star Fox on Switch 2 is just a whole bunch of cinematic sequences. All of the exposition delivered in text form from the original game now plays out as conversations between the legally distinct Star Wars hologram General Pepper and Team Star Fox while they relax between sorties aboard the Great Fox. Much was made during the Star Fox Direct about how these scenes would add to the lore of the game.
These include never-before-seen mission briefings between stages, allowing you to learn more about the characters and the Star Fox universe.
And while it was incredible to see the prelude featuring James McCloud taking on Andross's forces on Venom, I found myself eagerly skipping the between-stage cinematics to get back to the action. Ultimately, they serve as an explanation about why the team is headed to the next mission, more than anything approaching lore. Nice that they're here, but we get it, Fox. As far as other nits worth picking out of this Fox's fur, there just aren't many. Partially because developer Velan Studios and Nintendo already anticipated and pre-quashed my beef. Let's look at an example. By default, Star Fox on Switch 2 lets players pull off U-turns and somersaults with a simple D-pad press. Easier, arguably more responsive, sure. But there's an immersive quality to slamming the N64 joystick down before engaging your afterburners that felt like actually pulling off a maneuver. Real Ace Pilot stuff. Luckily, there is a toggle under the control options to turn on button combos. Turn them on and you can do somersaults and U-turns by pulling back on the left stick and pressing X or B respectively, just like you remember. If there is one aspect of Star Fox on the Switch 2 that might throw off some players, it's the lack of camp. For those of us whose brains were still developing when we first heard lines like and the more grounded and significantly less cringy delivery in Star Fox comes off as a bit less fun. Here's a comparison of a few key lines.
Who are you guys?
We're Star Fox.
You'll never defeat Astro!
Who are you guys? We're Star Fox. Tell your boss we're coming for him. You're no match for Andros.
Don't party just yet.
Don't party just yet.
Fox, that's one of ours.
Fox, that was one of ours.
The new voice actors and line delivery are hardly deal breakers, but your mileage may vary, you cocky little freaks. Newcomers may also be dismayed to discover that Star Fox for the Switch 2 is a short game. Even if you go for all the medals across the game's difficulties and accomplish each and every feat in challenge mode, chances are you'll see everything Star Fox for the Switch 2 has to offer in about a weekend. And as good as multiplayer mode is, I have a hard time imagining most players will do more than stick their noses in on occasion. Luckily, Star Fox is also a relatively cheap game. It feels refreshingly consumer-friendly that Nintendo is charging less for this remake than it does for some of its other Switch 2 titles. Can we expect a similar remake discount from the upcoming Ocarina of Time remake? I doubt it. But here's what I know for sure. As we enter an age when digital ownership is increasingly meaningless, and certain games are charging $80 to $100 for no-disc physical copies with a download code, I'll gladly take a remake of one of the greatest on-rail shooters ever at $60 physically or $50 digitally.
This is one steep bill.
Whether Star Fox on Switch 2 ignites the engines of this often neglected franchise is anyone's guess. It certainly seems that the sudden announcement and release of this game, in addition to Fox McCloud's significant role in the Mario Galaxy movie, may be building toward something. For now, we'll keep the hope alive and make do with chasing medals and dogfighting friends in this incredible remake. Life Begins at 8-Bit gives Star Fox on Switch 2 a 9 out of 10 for giving new players one hell of an introduction to Star Fox, while giving old fans plenty of upgrades well worth returning to the Lilat system to experience. And while we do believe this is the definitive version of Star Fox 64, don't sleep on the original, if only to fully appreciate how far Fox and the gang have come since 1997. If you want to know even more about Star Fox, check the link to Rewind Arcade's YouTube channel for the history of Star Fox, a documentary celebrating the series' 30th anniversary that he and I put together a few years ago. And for more from Life Begins at 8-Bit, check out our weekly video game history streams on Twitch. Links to both are in the description. Producing YouTube videos for Life Begins at 8-Bit has been part of the plan all along, and now it seems I'm finally doing it. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching.